Hey folks, Nate coming at you on Friday, December 10th. So today, got a little bit of a different new type of demo to do for you tonight. Um, let me start back about. Let me start from the beginning. So about a week ago, I want to say maybe a little longer, a friend of mine, who I think some of you know in the Sabre community, really really good guy, Pat Gibbons, was sort of in the middle of working on this sort of homegrown sound font on his own that he was getting finished up with. So it was sort of he had been working on it in I think up to about a week ago. It was sort of like almost done, and so he reached out to me, asked me if well, actually, he was asking me if I could do a Bladestyle for him, but the way he asked me was really funny. So I got this sort of a DM from him out of the blue, I think about a week ago, and it was just one question: do you like horror movies? Yes, I saw the DM. I looked at it for a second, and I was like, "This could get interesting." And so I replied to him, and I said something like, "Normally, horror movies scare the ever loving crap out of me. I used to like them when I was younger. Now they scare me, but I'm really interested in where this is going. So keep going." So anyway, um, turns out he was working on a sound font on his own that he put together, themed from the movie It, Stephen King's It from 2017, the 2017 version. And he wanted to know if I could put a Bladestyle together for him. I said, absolutely. I said, this sounds like a lot of fun. Um, so he sent me over a sample of his font, and it sounded good. It sounded parts of it were really scary. And then he's gone through a few more version iterations, and then today he sort of got the last piece of it put together, and it's sounding fantastic. And then this last week I've been working on tweaking a couple of Bladestyle ideas, and finally got something that we both like. And so that's what I'm going to demo for you tonight. So this is the It 2017 sound font, paired with the Bladestyle that I did for him. And yeah, so let's get started. So there's actually going to be two versions of the Bladestyle. So I'm going to do two versions of the sound font. They have two different blades. First one is going to be a bright, like a medium orange per flicker LED blade, and then the second one is a smoke blade, so more like one of those gaseous blade styles. But the sound font's going to be the same on both. Okay.
YOLO do, YOLO do, YOLO do, YOLO do.
It's accent swings. Here's the hum. There's the clashes. And here's the blasters. There's balloons popping. So this was the fun part. So I hadn't actually seen the movie. So when he said the blasters were balloons popping, I thought, well, what I'll do then is I'll make each blaster one of each color. So I'll do like a purple, a red, a white, a bright yellow, and then like a green and a blue. And he's like, well, no, the balloons were always red. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the blaster trying to match the balloon color. And so this main blade is essentially a dark orange ratioed from 100% down to 10%. So it's like 6 different ratios of dark orange. And then in one of the layers, in one of the LED flicker layers, there's a bright orange, like a regular orange. So there's like, I'm going to say like 7 different layers of orange going on in this blade. And here's the lockup. That end lockup is awesome. I'm going to show it to you again. It's so good. And so that was the last piece that Pat had to put together before he gave me his final version to demo, was putting together the miking the lockup, the end lockup, begin lockup, and main lock all at the same sound level. And it just came out really good. And here's, I think the lightning block uses the same lock file on it. And then so I added a little bit of a flair on the style for him, and then as a result, he ended up making had to make like a new. I wanted him to make a new stab sound because I put like a fun stab on here. So here's the stab. Hang on, let me see if I can get it to trigger. There we go. It's a knife blade. And so originally the stab was sort of like more of a stock sound, and I was like, no, you gotta amp that stab sound up. So he's like, okay. So now it's more of like that horror movie stab. And then here is the force effect. And so what I did, so I did like a responsive edge red blade to make it sort of look like a bloody knife, sort of. And so we're going to, originally I just was going to do it right on the main blade, but then I found on his font that he had a couple of force effects on the font. So I was like, okay, well, let's just trigger this off the force effect so people can turn it on and off if they want to. And then we can have better use of the force effect. So the force effect triggers a red blinking blade, and then it goes into a responsive edge red at the top half of the blade.
This isn't real enough for you, Billy.
So now he's just swinging a bloody knife. Come on, give me the stab again. There we go. And then I just sped up the swing sensitivity just a little bit so that you don't have to swing it that hard to get the blade to show. But it's a responsive, enhanced swing, so if you just swing it a little bit, it'll show up like at the tip, but if you do a full swing, it'll come right out. So here it is. And then you can hit the force effect again. And then the red blade goes away. So you can toggle the red blade on and off with the force effect. So Pat had a lot of fun doing this, man. This is a killer font. You know, normally when we say we like doing sound fonts, or when we like listening to sound fonts that are like off-world or out of universe, usually people are talking like MCU or, you know, Dragon Ball Z. But you definitely jumped that genre one more layer, man. You went 2 levels deep on this one. This is great. Love it. And then that's the end. And then so the second style that I did
You
for him
will do. You will do. You will do. You will do.
is a smoke blade. Same peripheral effects. It's just the main blade is a little different. So I'll show you real quick. So then instead of a per flicker LED, we get sort of like that just gaseous movement blade. Now this was the original blade idea I had when he asked me about this to match the font, because the smoke blade just seemed a little more eerie, a little more scary, I guess. But the reason I sort of backed off of it and tried to do it on the per flicker LED was because the blade style effects I wanted to do, I was worried that it wouldn't come out as good on the smoke blade as it would on a per flicker LED. Fortunately, it turns out I was wrong, and it comes out on the smoke blade just fine. But at that point, I already had the two styles built, so I just figured I'd keep them both. So Pat, thanks for asking me to to work with you on this. It was a blast building a blade style for you for this font. This font is killer, and people's creativity in this hobby just never ceases to amaze me. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. All right, y'all. Thank you very much for watching. May the force be with you, and always check into your bed before you go to sleep at night.